friends, it's Carolyn Zook here with C6 Stitch, and today is Saturday, September 20th, 2025. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I'm so glad that you are here spending part of your day or your evening with me. I missed you all last week while I was busy at the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit, which I will talk about a little bit later here, but overall we had a really great time. I may be pausing this video a little bit. I have COVID right now. That's Jack in the background. If you hear him meowing, he is fine. He's just kind of wandering around. So I got COVID. I started not feeling great late on Wednesday, and then I woke up Thursday morning, which is Tuesdays and Thursdays are my heavy teaching days. I teach 3 classes each day. And I got through my 8 a.m. class, and then I just canceled the rest of the day, came back home, and went to bed for like 3 hours. And then I tested on Friday, and it was positive for COVID. I have no idea if it came from the Stitch Summit or school. I mean, either one is very possible. I'm feeling okay-ish. I've definitely been worse. So how about that? I'm trying to keep up on my medicine and just taking it easy. I had a bunch of things on my to-do list to do this weekend, but that is out the window. I'm just grateful I still have my voice, because if you've been with me for a long time, you know that I tend to get laryngitis whenever I get sick, and that, knock on wood, that doesn't seem to be happening this time, so I still have my voice, which I'm very grateful for, but I may pause it every once in a while to cough or sneeze or what have you. So like I said, I really missed you last week, but I tried to upload several different flip through videos for you to watch in my absence, so I hope you enjoyed that. The semester's going right along. A lot of people are sick on campus, of course, but we just finished week 4, I think? No, week 3. I'm pretty sure it was week 3. Don't quote me. I don't know. I was just telling a friend last night, I was like, yeah, I don't have the brain fog that I normally have with when I get sick. But today I feel a little brain foggy. So bear with me. Okay, let's get into, I am surrounded by stuff. And so it's really fun. I think this is going to be a longer video. So grab your stitching and your favorite beverage and let's chat all things stitchy. So we are in the midst of AB Singo, which is a bingo game through Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge Facebook group, which I co-run with my friend Robin, who is Bird's Eye Stitches here on Flosstube. So this month we play a game called AB Singo. We're doing it a little bit different this month, where I'll show you my board here. Here is my board. So everything that is highlighted has been called, and everything with a red X through it I've stitched on. So I got a little behind, so I have the U and the C and the M to make up for when I was at Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit, which the abbreviation is PNWSS, and they call it PNWIS. So I was at PNWIS, so I have 3 days to make up at the end of this month, because the calls only go through the 25th, and then R is for today. But you can see, well, I guess if an S is called, I'll get a bingo that way. And if a 2 is called, I'll get a bingo that way. But I'm not doing great on the bingos. Even if I had finished stitching all on the missing one, I'm still not doing great on bingos. Anyway, you assign, it's like an acrostic with the alphabet, so you assign a project to each letter of the alphabet. And because this bingo board is 7 across by 5 down, it's 35 blocks. So we have the full alphabet and then numbers 1 through 9. And if a number is called, then you stitch that number of elements in a piece or motifs. So number of flowers, number of letters or words, whatever you want. So that is mostly what my stitching has been this month. But let's start with my 25/7 piece, which this poor piece. So this is what it says, and it translates to "Don't drop the potato," and that's what it says there. Don't drop the potato. It's by Dirty Annie's. I think it's hilarious. And this is my 25/7 piece. So I work on it about 25 minutes a day, but it's just not getting the love that it normally would. because of the Stitch Summit. And I'm really adjusting to my school schedule this semester. So I'm right up in here. I had that butterfly done. I got her head done. This is counts for the theme this month, which for our magazine monthly acrostic, which is Saddle Up. And then our acrostic is Giddy Up. And so this is the D in Giddy Up for Dirty Annie's. I can't remember where I was last time you saw this, but the butterfly, I'm pretty sure that's new. I know her face is new. And then I just did some more in the trees around here. So this is where we are at. There's a lot of, there's like 3 or 4 colors in each of these little clumps of the trees. So it is a lot of counting and a lot of color changes. But so far I love it. And I'm happy working on it. I just wish I could give it a little more time because it just doesn't get the love that it normally would. I'm not able, most nights I find that I'm so tired from work that I'm not able to get my normal 3.5 hours of stitching in, which I know is a lot compared to some people, how much they are able to get. So I'm getting closer to like maybe 2.5 hours, which is fine for right now. We did have our gridiron grind from, was it last Sunday, excuse me. Gridiron grind is, my team is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They lost last week. So last week was week 2 of the regular season, where for the regular season, I'm doing 10 stitches for every point they score. They played Seattle Seahawks. I think the Steelers were expected to win by quite a lot, and they lost. It was 31-17. So I was supposed to put in 170 stitches, and I put in 172. And this is the piece I'm using, which is Cat Alphabet by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Irina Garmashova. And I'm right in here. I think I was working on the P in Cat Alphabet. So here's where we are. So that P, there's still some more stitches in the center there. That's not filled in yet, but it kind of went really quickly. So that is filled in, and then I'm focusing on the letters now. So it says cat up there and it'll say alphabet down here. And that's kind of my goal. And then someday I'll go back and fill in the bottom part, and then that block will be done. The block will not be done this football season, I don't think. Normally I do Tour de France also in July, which gives it an extra, I don't know, like 3,300 stitches or so, where you stitch the number of kilometers that the bicyclists ride. But I wasn't able to do that this year. I just didn't have the time in July. My July was very busy. So, but I think it's cute, and I'm happy to pull this out and get some progress on it. So next time it comes out, which will be tomorrow, they play New England Patriots. So we'll see how many stitches. I will fill in the center of that P so that the P is done and then move on. So that's where we are with Cat Alphabet and the gridiron grind. It is very fun. I have noticed that sometimes with the gridiron grind, that takes the place of my 25/7 piece. And so that's one reason why it's not getting as much work. Okay, so for AB Singo, the next piece I pulled out is G. Leger, 1898. This is by Reflets des Soirs. I'm sorry about my pronunciation. This is what it will look like when it's done. I thought I was using MPIs, but I'm actually using Soie de J, which is what it calls for. I am, where am I? Like right up in this area with the M and the F and the numbers. So that is where I'm at. And this got called 3 times since I saw you last. So for X, because I'm going to be exchanging some motifs down here. When I get down here, I may replace the Eiffel Tower. I may replace the cross with the sword. I'm not entirely sure yet. There was one other one that I was thinking about replacing. I'm not sure. But I'm going to replace a couple of the motifs to just better reflect me. And so X for exchange motifs, Z because one of the things I love about this piece is the Z right there. I love that Z. So that's the Z. And then the I, well, I thought it was for MPI Silks, but I'm just going to go with it's for the I. And that's also the I in Giddy Up for the monthly acrostic. So here's where we've gotten. So I usually can do about 3 or 4 of these little bubble things. I can't remember where you saw it. I'm pretty sure I got the L and M in. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got this little design in. The E is finished. The D was finished. I think you saw that last time that the D was finished. Got the E done. The F is almost done. So we're getting close to having to move the Q-snap on this, but it got 3 days, which normally would be like 9 hours, and it's not. It's not. It's maybe 2, 4, 6 hours or so. I'm not sure. I will have to calculate it when I at the end of the month, but that's okay. Progress is progress, right? The next one is Antonia, and this was called 4 times. But I think I only worked on it 3 times because one of the calls was at Pinwis. So this is Antonia Roselle y Garcia, 1886 by Jan Hicks Creates. This is what it will look like. I am down here in this corner. I am nearly done with this. And this is still on my WhipGo board 2 more times. I'm not doing WhipGo this month. I will make it up next month. But it's still on my WhipGo board, I think 2 or 3 times. So this was called for A, which I use for Antonia. Q, because of the quantity of alphabets. There's several in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 alphabets. So quantity of alphabets. The C, which is the one I did not stitch on, is for Jan Hicks Creates. And then O for old, because it's from 1886. Okay, so this is where I'm at. I know you can't really see a lot because of where I have the Q-snap. But when we're done at the end of the month, I will show you kind of how far it looks. But you can see this is the bottom right corner. Hopefully these will match up. I need to bring these flowers down to match up with here. There's a little flower right in this corner. I have to write the words Garcia, I think, right there. And then there's a little bit more of the alphabet and some numbers. And that's it. And this piece is done. This is on my year of WIPs to finish this year, so I'm super excited to be this close. And I hope it will be called, well, I know I already have 1 day that it will be made up. So that will I'll make up at the end of the month because the calls only go through the 25th of September. And then you have the last days of the month to do any makeup work that you need. So this will for sure come out 1 more time this month, if not more, depending on the calls. So very excited about that. I am planning, when it's done, I'm planning on hanging it right up there once I get it framed. Okay, next up is Camberley Sampler by Rosewood Manor. I love this one so much. This was called twice, one for the K, and that is for Karen Kluba, because she is the designer behind Rosewood Manor, and one for the number 4. I can't remember what I worked on for the K. I'm going to be really honest. I don't know if it was down here or if you already saw that. I'm not sure. I know for the number 4, I worked on this kind of top row right in here. And I counted each motif as 1, 2, 3. I actually got 7 done, I think. But, who's keeping track? But I love this piece. I don't give it enough love. So you can see, again, I can't remember what I worked on for the K, but here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're getting close to turning the corner there. So that will be that kind of border. And I love it. You can't see it the way the Q-snap is. There's more over here, and there's a little butterfly up here in this corner, but you can't see it right now. So I'm hoping this will get called more too this month. I mean, we only have, 5 more days, so we will see. Right now, I'm really only pulling that one out at for Sampler September, which is all my pieces are samplers, which is how I make it work with AB Singo. Okay, next up was Twisted Band Sampler, which was called twice, but I only worked on it once. This is by Northern Expressions Needlework. I am on this row right in here, that orange row. So they have two versions of this. One version is all cross stitch, and one version is one row is cross stitch, and then the next row is specialty stitches, and it rotates. I'm doing the one with specialty stitches, but the row I'm on is all cross stitches. So I'm running out of Q snaps too, because I have so many projects on Q snaps for the month. So this is kind of a weird shaped one, and I'm gonna have to move it, right? But so I pulled this down. So this was called for N for AB Singo, N for Northern Expressions, the designer, and this also counts for the D in Giddy Up because it's on a diagonal. So N is the one I worked on for. It was also called for U while I was at Pinwist. So I will need to do a makeup day at the end of the month for that, which is good because I've only worked on it once this month. A U for unique, because I think it being on a diagonal is very unique. So I'm going to finish up bringing this down if it's not already. And then there's another shade of orange, and I'm going to work my way back up. And it's all, I'm still in a cross stitch row. So hopefully this will get caught again too. Okay, then the last piece for AB Single that I worked on in the past 2 weeks is With the Needle. This is by Lila's Studio, With the Needle 2 by Lila's Studio. I finished this border over here. I did this motif right here, this flower pot, and I started on this alphabet. And I love that font so much. I'm going to change out what it says in here. I'm pretty sure that's over 1 also. I don't know what, I mean, it's fine. It's just, I don't know. I was going to put in like a nature quote or something. So I'm looking to change that out, but I'm not there yet. So this was called Twice for the W, which is for With the Needle, and the B. So I worked on this last night, I think last night, for B for boat, because there's a boat in here. And this is where I got to. So like I said, I finished up this pot, which I think last time you saw it, I started the pot and then realized I made an error, so I had to rip it out. But the pot is done. I started on these letters, so A, B, C, D, E, F. And again, you can see that how pretty that font is. I just love it. And it's in a really pretty blue that I love too. And then we did this flower pot over here. So if it gets called again, let's see. It was not called during Pinwist. So I would probably go in the alphabet. This would be a great one with if a number is called, because then these letters are so small, they're pretty fast. So if like another number is called, I can count each letter and say, okay, I'll do GHI, and that will count as, 3 letters or whatever. So we'll see how that one comes along. But that one is getting some progress. All right, so that is everything that I worked on. Not including my Pinwist work. I don't know where to go next. I'm surrounded here. Let's take a sip of coffee, right? Look at that cute mug. I pulled out my fall mug. This is the only fall mug I have, which is fine. Okay. Let me show you some non-Pinwist related haul that I got, okay? Let's start there. So this will be very quick. So I got my Classic Color Works. This is the Floss Fix. This is the September colors from Fat Quarter Shop. Look how pretty they are. And these are the colors. Rain shower, rainy day. Right up my alley. So I just love that. I'm not sure which that. Maybe Pumpkin Harvest. It's like a light orange. It's very pretty. Yeah, Pumpkin Harvest. It's a really pretty, it's not like a bright orange. So I got that. And then Crazy Annie's is sending me the Nutcracker series, which is designed by Annie B's Folk Art. So she's sending a set for me and a set to give away to you. So I got number 8, which is the Candy Canes. Look how cute that is. Sorry about the glare. And number 9, which is Arabian Coffee. Look at that. So cute. Look at that dancer. So I got a set for you and a set for me. So I'll be giving those away later. And then, look what came in the mail. It came like shortly after I filmed my last video. I have my Crazy Life Lori's 2026-2027 cross-stitch planner, and I'm so excited. First of all, look at this cover. I think she has a friend that does watercolor painting, And I think each year she does this planner. She has her friend do the cover, and I would stitch this in a heartbeat without the 2026, 2027. But isn't that gorgeous? I think it's so, so pretty. Here's the information. You can buy this. Oh, I forgot the paper. We just dumped a bunch of stuff. Okay. So, and this is sold in Canada at Evertotes. So I think it's the 1-year planner though. The 2-year planner you had to have specialty pre-ordered. I don't know if she's still doing pre-orders, but reach out and ask, because I imagine if there's enough people who want the 2-year planner, she will do another run of them. But if you want the 1-year planner, which is identical, it's just 1 year instead of 2. It's literally the only difference. Evertote in Canada, you can get it. If you're in the UK, you can get it at the Patchwork Rabbit. If you're in the US, you can get it from Lori's Etsy shop, which I'll try to remember to link down below. Or you can get it from Colorado Cross Stitcher in Colorado. Okay, so that's where you can get this. It's a great. It's a monthly calendar. So I just want to show you, like, every month is the same, right? And in between each month, you have a dot grid, you have some notes, and then this is Sal's challenges, finishes, so you can keep track of things. And then at the back, and this is kind of what's, unique about it. I love that it has the spiral balance, so I can fold it back. This is the 2-year, so I get 4. So the 1 year will have 2 bingo boards. So you could do WhipGo, 2 WhipGo boards, a WhipGo and a Bringo, right? Whatever you want to use those for. And then she has the Whips New Starts and Plans pages. She has several of those for you. She has 2028 planning, some notebook pages, like to take notes on. And then there is a retreat section. So you can put your retreat name up here, where it is, what your travel plans, what your hotel. Great space for like confirmation numbers, logistics. If you're picking somebody up or somebody's picking you up. Pre-orders, if you placed any pre-orders, you need to remember to get any other notes. So that is really great. And then there's a plan. So a weekly plan. So the week of, so that I need to pack, I need to call the cat sitter or whatever you need to do. Packing, of course, she has projects as first. Projects, notions, electronics, and then like clothes and stuff. I think that's really funny. But that's the way we think, right? And then Stitchy Kindness. Smalls Exchange, Table Mate Gifts, and then you can remember. And there's some charts in here as well. And there's several of these retreat pages in here. So I'm very excited to use this for 2026 and 2027. And I'm very excited to get planning in it. I love to plan. Okay, so that came in the mail. Okay, so that is everything for regular stuff. Now, for Pinwis, we had such a great time. It was so fantastic. My heart was so full afterwards. I sat at a table, Megan, who is MJ Stitches 23 here on Flosstube, so I'll remember to put her link to her channel down below. So please check her out. She's a newer Flosstuber, and she's a newer stitcher. So she actually came and she stayed with me. We did not get a hotel room, but she stayed with me, and we had so much fun. And she's so super sweet. And because she's a newer stitcher, and this was her first retreat, and it was just so fun to watch it kind of through her eyes. And she was just so excited about everything. So it was just really, really fun to get to see her. I sat at a table with Megan and Amanda, and I sat between them. And then Susan, dear Susan, we kidnapped her from another table. She'd already sat down at another table, and we're like, you should come over to our table. So we hijacked Susan, and then Janet and Jen were also at our table. It was just really great. I sat between, Megan was on one side of me and Amanda was on the other. And I mean, honestly, they put up with so much for me, especially poor Amanda. We found out very quickly that Amanda is an oldest sister and I'm a youngest sister. And yeah, that dynamic played out. But anyway, so Megan gave me a hostess gift, which was very, very sweet of her. Well, first of all, let me show you this really cute card that I love. Look at this. I have a book from when I was little about 3 mischievous kittens, and that's what this reminds me of. So that was sweet. It has a very sweet note inside. And she had this mug, and I was admiring her mug. She brought a mug with her, so for her, like, her tea and stuff, taking it one stitch at a time. And it's also left-handed friendly. If you don't know, I'm left-handed, so I drink my mugs with my left hand, and then it's like a red orange inside. It's she had it, and I was like, "Oh, that's so cute. I love it." And she's like, "Oh, I have a gift for you." And inside was this mug, and so we have matching mugs, which I'm so excited about. Now that I've shown that, I can put that in the dishwasher. And then she made this project bag. Look at this. That's just a fuzzy. She made it. Look at that. I mean, and then it has a zipper and everything, and then this is the inside with that pretty olive green. So and it's so like soft and squishy, and very, very cute. And it will remind me of Acorns and Threads, which is my local needle workshop. So Megan, thank you so much. I love it. And I treasured our time together, and we had so much fun. I don't know where to go next. Let's do kind of table mate gifts. Okay. So Susan made us these cute little, they're like Kleenex holders, which is, there's a little pack of Kleenex in there, a little travel size. Look how pretty this is. This fabric is gorgeous. This is going to come in so handy now that I'm sick, especially. So Susan, I'm so glad we got to sit at the same table together and got to chat and laugh. There's so much laughter. So Susan got us that. Jen got us each a pack. We got to pick our color. And so I picked pink. And inside the pack was this little pin cushion. Super cute. Some candy. This is a friction pilot pen. So it's erasable. Here's the candy. What is candy? Ginger chews. So that's cool. And then this little booklet. I'm pretty sure she made this. It's a needle book. But inside was a pair of scissors. How cute is that? And then the little needle book. So super cute. And it was all in this pouch. Keep track of it all. Megan was so cute because, like I said, she's a newer stitcher. And she said something like, she was so excited about this pair of scissors because she said, "Oh, I only have one pair and they're not really stitching scissors." And when Jen heard that, like, she gave her another pair. She's like, that can't be. We cannot have you have one pair of stitching scissors. So Jen gave her like a second pair of scissors. It was really cute. And then Jen was also giving out, she had a bunch of these that we could choose from. They're thread keeps, and this is a sewing machine, obviously. I'm probably not going to use it as a thread keep. I think I'm going to hang it up in my craft room, like by my sewing machine. I think I'm going to use it as that. So, yeah. So, Jen, thank you so much. That was so generous. I actually don't know if she watches my Flosstubes or not, but... and then Megan made us needle minders, so it's a really pretty leaf, and then these cute acorn stickers. So very cute. And Amanda, she stitched, oh my gosh, she stitched little necklaces for us. Look at that. They were all different designs. I picked this one. It's so tiny and so cute. And so, yeah. So we wore that each day. Mine is a bird design, but the necklace, but she had all different types to choose from. So I'm probably forgetting something. There were so many gifts that were, I mean, it was so much fun. I think, and this is where I'm getting into where I'm like, I'm not quite sure who these are from. So I apologize. I think, Heidi, did you give me this little Halloween, it's like a little McDonald's Happy Meal Halloween box. It has candy inside and some finishing fabric, some cute little ghosty stickers, this needle minder that she made. Look how tiny that little jack-o'-lantern is. Oh, and then this cute little Halloween pin. So thank you so much for that. Pretty sure that was from Heidi. We got somebody was giving, I hope you can see this. This is a chicken. And you squeeze it and it makes a sound. I'm not going to squeeze it. This is Thelma. This is by Callie. Thelma would love to help you play Thread Chicken by squawking loudly when you win. So like every once in a while you would hear this chicken being squawked. So that was really funny. And then there was a little Highland Cow adoption center. I can't remember who had it. Oh gosh, I could see the little, like, she had a little fenced in area set up at her stitching spot. And you could adopt a little Highland Cow. And they also squeak if you push them, which I'm not going to do. But people were definitely doing that in the room. It was so funny. And then we got some pins. So I picked up a couple pins. Zoe's decorative pins. I got, these are the, the boo-boo things where you rub it if you have to frog and it takes out all the fluff. And then that's a Pacific Northwest thread bling with 2025 on it. So very cute. I don't remember who gave me these. This one too. This is like a zipper pull. Look how pretty that is with the gold leaf and the like champagne colored beads. So pretty. This, oh my gosh, this is so pretty. These have like butterfly buttons and there's some treasures, some Mill Hill treasures inside. And then this really pretty variegated floss from Weeks Dye Works. It's called Confetti. So that is really pretty. Then we got, I think these are 3D printed. These are some bobbins. And I love how they have like the hole for your extra floss and then your single threads. These are from Jill. So we got 3. Love the pastel colors. And then somebody else had 3D printed a bunch of, these aren't bobbins. They're like thread, what do you call them? Thread holders. So you put them on a ring, right? And this is where the most of your floss goes. And then this is where your spare goes. And then this little flap is where you can slip in the DMC flap, the little band, so that you know what number it is. I think that's just a genius idea. And so I got a whole bag of them. So those will be great. I love working with thread drops. All right. Then I got this really cute. This is from Ziggy's Closet. Little Daisy. I can't remember who gave this to me either. Little Daisy. And I could see it and I can hear our conversation. And then Daisy's on there too. So that's a really fun thread. Probably use it as a zipper pull. We were getting, Emily made these patriotic bracelets. So they all said something different. Mine, I picked Freedom. So that was really cool. And then I got this, and I'm so sorry. I can't remember who gave me this huge bag full of goodies. There's a tomato, the little thread key, or what do you call it? Those thingies. I can't remember what they're called. Some floss. Oh gosh, I feel so bad. Whoops. This really cute kitty. Look at this like floral kitty. I love that needle. It's a needle minder. This cute daisy. And she was telling me that she thought the whole pack that she ordered were all daisies and they weren't. And so she had to dig through to find me a daisy one, which is so sweet. And then there's also some blue scissors in there and a blue threader. I'm so sorry. I can't remember who gave this to me. Susan, was it you? I don't know. I'm so sorry. I love it though. So I have a lot of unpacking to do. I think that's everything that I have here anyway. So at Pinwest, they bring in Janine, who is the owner of Acorns and Threads, which is the store that puts on Pinwest each year. They bring in 2 designers, and it's very generous. So this retreat maybe costs a little bit more than some of the others, but it includes lunch every day. They have little snacky bits throughout the day. They have drinks like sodas and coffee and tea and water throughout the day. So I think it's well worth. And they fly out the designers, so the designers are there in person. So our 2 designers, well, one of them was the artsy housewife, who is now local. Like her and her husband are now moving back to Portland. I can't remember where from. Colorado? I'm not sure. It was a long time ago, you guys. A lot has happened in the past week. So we got this pouch from the artsy housewife. And inside the pouch is a bunch of floss. This is, it looks like it's all Weeks Dye Works. So they kit up everything for you, right? And there's this piece of fabric, which is I don't know if it says. Probably a 36, I know it's a 36 count something. I don't know. I'll have to look at the design. But that came with it. I knew that they usually put 36 count into their kits, so I pulled a 32 count from home in case I wanted to stitch on it. So this is just from my stash that I will probably stitch the projects on. And there are 2 projects, and it's so nice because they show the finished design before they hand out the packets. They show the finished designs, and then each designer can talk a little bit about it. This is the first day, like within a couple hours of us sitting down. And then, so that's Friday. Yeah, Friday. And then Saturday, they each take like an hour, hour and a half to just talk about how they got started in designing, just kind of their background and all that. So it's really, really fun to get that time to spend with them. Now, these, as far as I understand from the Artsy Housewife, that these are exclusive for Pinwist for a year. So you would have to wait a year. So this one is by the Artsy Housewife, called By Moonlight. Look at that. So pretty. And I don't know if you can see, but there's a moon right in there. 36 count gray. I don't know if that's really what that is. Oh, it looks pretty close. This looks more brown in real life, but it does definitely have some gray in it. By Moonlight. So if you love that, watch for it a year from now. And then this other one is called Brambling Hill. And it's, yeah, that must be the fabric because this one calls for the same. So you can fit both of these on the same fabric. 36 count gray by Weeks Dye Works. I will probably start with this one. It is gorgeous in person. Both of them are just gorgeous. So her name is Gigi, and we were talking. Megan and I were talking about it when we got at home. We're like, she must be a painter or something because just the way all of her charts look, she must be a painter. And sure enough, she did say that she started out as an oil painter. Paints with oils. So we're like, we see that in her work. So I just thought that was really interesting. And so like you have everything you need to start on the project if you want at Pinwist. So that is super great. I will for sure stitch that one I showed you. And then I'm going to pause to show you one other thing I started at Pinwist. Because I only took one project because I knew we were coming home each day at the end of the day so I could grab something else if I wanted to. I did start on Biddy Bolt October. I started on the pillow and I got just the mansion done. That's all I got done. So here it is. That's it. That's all I got done. It took me all day to get in like 3 hours of stitching. But then our other designer was, I already have cat hair on this. Krista West from Avlia Folk Embroidery. And so this is the pouch that her stuff came in. And she gave us a little instruction. So if you wanted to embroider this, you could. But I love these bags. Okay, so in the bags was a bunch of stuff. So this cute little design and the floss drops and the DMC for your projects. Mine is all tangled up right now, but as you can see, I started a new project. I started one of them. Let me show you the one I did not start. So this small one is going to come out, I think she said in mid-October. This one will come out to the public in mid-October. It's called Little Leaves. It's a bit kit. It's so pretty. A lot of people started on it and got very far on it. And again, it comes with the floss. It's a whole kit, a needle, everything you need. So that is really, really pretty. So I'm going to start on that. But the one I started on is Arakova, which is a town in Greece antique. And it's a long table runner. And I just fell in love with these colors. And she uses a different kind of cloth for stitching. I mean, you could use whatever. It's called ground cloth. This is 26 count. This one is... The one in this one is a 30 count Mikini in ivory. But this one is a 26 count, and you do it over 2. 26? 100% cotton, yeah, 26 count over 2. I didn't get super far, but let me show you where I got to. And I love it so, so much. So... I'm not quite to the other side, but it doesn't go terribly much further. So this is where I got to on Arakova. Arakova. I'm mispronouncing it. I even looked up how to pronounce it and practice it, and that was too long ago, so now I've forgotten. So, love this. I can't wait. Amanda and I said our goal was to have it done, because Amanda started it too, and she got much further than I did, because she... was focusing. Our goal is to have it done by next year's Pinwis. But you can see I had Krista sign it. And she is just, Krista, her knowledge is just amazing. I mean, she could be a history professor. So it's very interesting also to listen to both of them talk. And then, this is where the fob came in. And then in here, we got this, which I haven't even opened yet. No, I have. Yeah, I have opened it. It had a needle minder in there. Something just fell. A needle minder, and then like a little free chart. I'll just flash that really quickly. There's a coupon code, and then there's the instructions for if you want to stitch the outside of that bag. It tells you how to do that on that piece of paper there. So those were our get. I mean, you get 4 fully kitted projects plus getting time to talk to the design. I mean, they were there the whole time. They went around the room. They talked to you. If you were on Zoom, they sat down with you for quite a while and talked on the Zoom, because there's always a Zoom option. So, yeah, it was fantastic. So I love this. I love both of those designers. I was so excited. I guess I'm kind of going out of order. But this was the bag. So when we checked in, this is the bag that we got from Acorns and Threads. And then they always do a silly little project. It's not silly. We got an acorn zipper pull. She calls it a make and take, and she teaches you how to put the zipper pull. The zipper pull is made. She's just like, take your thumb and push down the lobster clasp and put it on your zipper, and that's our make and take. So it's just funny. But inside this bag was some M&Ms. Can you believe mine are still here? We had a lot of other candy at our table. There was some paperwork, I think, explaining like the schedule and all that. And then we got this, which is by Gypsy Quilter. It is a tray, so you snap up each corner. It makes a big tray, but it has a zipper in the middle, So if you wanted to, you could put your project in here and then carry it with you. So this is really cool. I know Megan used her tray right away because she doesn't have anything like this. So this is really, really cool. So I'm happy to have this. And then there was also some floss in here from Pirate and Robin, which is, she's got kind of a new dyer. And so look at the purples and the like perfect Halloween colors there. And look how well it goes with this bag. Isn't that wild? So that we got in our bag, and this is a good size bag to carry like a bigger project in. So there's that. And then, hold on, I have to sneeze. I'll be right back. Excuse me. Okay, I'm back. Debbie came over and let me choose a project bag that she made. And so I picked this pink kitty cat one. Look how cute that is. Super cute. And then nice zipper, and then the inside matches. So Debbie, thank you so much. I love this bag. I will find the perfect project to go in there. Then we had to take Megan to Acorns and Threads. She has been into a LNS before, but never Acorns and Threads. So we went to Acorns and Threads, and it was so much fun. I got a few things. I picked up the Autumn by Jeanette Douglas because I had the summer one. So the autumn one is out. I think this is so pretty. Seasons in the Garden, it's called. So I got that. And then I got some floss. The coupon, they have a coupon book every month. And the coupon for this month was thread. And so I got some gas thread just to add to my collection. Which I won't show. And I got more Annie's Keepers, which I use for all my projects. So I got more of those, which I'm not going to show. But I got this Avlia Little Baskets folk embroidery kit. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. She has a little candle on it. And again, it comes with everything. Part of the chart is on there, so I just flashed it. It comes with the floss and the fabric and a needle. This is the same 26 count grounds cloth. It's beautiful to work on. She imports this from Greece. So she'll go over to Greece. She has a guy. And she'll import this fabric from Greece. And so I love this design. And it's pretty small, you know. I guess 7 3/4 by 11.5. But like a lot of this you aren't, like that's just one row of stitches, right? So I got this and I'm very excited about that. And then I got this, which is called Asteria. Did I tell you the name of this one? Oh, it's just called Little Baskets. Little Baskets. Okay. And I'll link her down below because you really need to check out her site if you haven't already. So Evlia, so this is Asteria. It's just like a cute, it's small. It's a bit kit. 10 by 12 piece. Again, you get everything you need in here. Megan also got, so Megan and I realized that our birthdays are one day apart. So that's super fun. So we're like, we need a birthday start for next year. So we picked out this, and then we were chatting with Krista, who is Evlia, and oops, you see she wrote happy birthday. We are gonna, her birthday is also in March. It's a little bit later than Megan and mine, but we are all gonna do some big birthday bash with this piece in March. So stay tuned for more details about that. But I'm super excited about that. So that's what I got at Acorns. And then they had a fantastic freebie table. And I'm just going to show you the things that I kept for myself. I got some things for you guys. I got some things for other friends of mine. And then I got some things for myself. So I'm just going to show you the things I'm keeping for myself. So this is like a little freebie DMC, but I just thought that was so cute. So I got that. And some of these other people had, well, this one I full on stole from Amanda. See, I'm telling you, you do not want to sit next to me at a stitching retreat. She gave it to me, but coffee and eggs. I love this. I think it is so funny and cute. And it's an artsy housewife, so Gigi was there, so it was fun to get. So I'm excited about that. Unfortunately, I don't have really any space in my kitchen to hang stuff, so I don't know. This one, I think, Susan, did you give this to me? She found it and thought it was said me, and so I agree. Called True Blue. It is by October House, so I love that. This is another one that Susan, I think, gave May Peace Abide. This is a free chart from 2021 Heartstrings Samplery. Within This House, May Peace Abide. I think that's just really sweet. This one I got for Megan, but she didn't want it. This is by the John Thread, called Lily of the Valley. I thought her favorite flower was lilies, and I know it's irises. And I just got confused, and I got really excited. I'm like, oh, look at this. And she's like, well, no, it's irises that I want. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. But I love it. I mean, she was nice about it. It wasn't like, she wasn't mean. I'm making it sound like she was super mean about it. She was not. But I think this is so pretty. So I picked that up. This is a Pat Rogers counted collection. It's signed. This is called The Embroideress. So this is older. Does it have a year on it? I don't see a year on it. But I think I would just stitch her and not the rest of that. So just stitch her. So I think that's pretty. And then I got this Vanessa Ann's Victorian Cross Stitch book. There are some things in here. This is quite old. It's just kind of funny, right? Like some of the things in here. Let me show you. Oh, I guess it doesn't have a year. 1993. There was something in here that I really was like, I want to stitch that. I should have. I think I'm close. I mean, I don't know. Like, some of it doesn't go out of style. I was kind of creeped out by that doll. But they assured me it was not a haunted book, so that's good. I don't know. Anyway, there's some really great designs in here. So I picked this up off the freebie table. Then I picked this up. It's a Busilla kit. It's the whole kit. Now, knowing me, I will probably change out the fabric. I couldn't decide about this. I mean, I know it's on the freebie table, and so I was asking the people at my table, I was like, what do you think about this? Like, I like it, but something just isn't set right with me about it. And what we figured out was this is fall, but this little cloth here says, like, 4th of July. So it's kind of confusing. So we decided if I stitch it, I would just take out the cloth and just keep the wood shelf, keep the autumn, because I like these, I really do. But I think they're right that this is like, it's hard to tell on the screen, but it's like yellow, red, white, and blue. So I think that is what's messing it up. So you just take that out, stitch the wood. So I may need to like change out some of the floss too, because I may not, because it's a kit, so I may not have enough floss. But otherwise, I think it's really pretty. So I got that. And then I got another book, Seasons Remembered. I love this cover one, right? So they have each, I'm a sucker for the seasons. And then, so this is what I got them for, were these 4 seasons. But there's other stuff in there too. So I'm not going to do a flip through. And then I picked this up, which I think I already have. I think I bought it recently. So I'll have this as a giveaway, but I just wanted to double check. Hold on, sorry, I had to blow my nose. Okay, so I think that is everything from Pinwist. I love it. I'm so excited for next year. Next year they're doing it, I think, a week earlier, so that's going to be over Labor Day weekend, which means I can go to Stitching in the Wild because they are doing it the same weekend that they always do it. So I'm super excited about that, and that's going to be 2 back-to-back. Now, is my health going to hold up? That's questionable. But I have more stuff. So, okay. So, Krista, who lives in Sisters, Oregon, so she's sort of local as well. Again, we were talking with her. Megan and I were chatting with her. And she said she's going to send us some giveaways for our channel, which is so kind of her. I'm not going to give them away today, but soon I will. So there's a needle minder in here. And then she gave us this kit, Folk Fabric Sampler. So they're bookmarks. Aren't those gorgeous? And again, it's a full kit. So that is beautiful. And then she gave us her book, Everyday Folk, to give away. Now, she said that she got a pack of these that were damaged or had dirt on them or something, that she said, I don't feel right selling them. I don't see it. I don't see it. So, but we will be doing a giveaway soon on her Everyday Folk book. Okay. So Krista, I don't know if she's watching. I know she's very, very busy, but I will email you as well. But thank you so much. So it just came in the mail today. So that's really quick turnaround, right? So that will be fun. It's fun to be friends with designers. Can I say that she's my friend? I'll say she's my friend unless she tells me otherwise. Then this is the last bit of haul. My market order from August came in. They were waiting on the samplers and primitives charts to come in before they send the whole thing out so that they don't have to send multiple packages, which makes sense. So let me show you everything I picked up from Market, which I know was a while ago, but I think you'll enjoy it. So this is Curious Simon, which I had to get. This is by Kesslin's because my baby Simon, which has been almost a year since he passed away. And it's called Curious Simon. And Simon was so curious. So I may try to find a color that looks more like him and stitch that because I think it's so, so cute. This one I was hoping to get it in time for Pinwist because I wanted to start it there. This is by the Artsy Housewife. It's called Cats and Cocoa. I love just the fall vibes of this. I think it's so pretty. So I love that. But it didn't come in time, and that's okay. I had plenty to work on. I picked up from Fine Frog Stitching Bird Globetrotter. I just thought it was cute. Maybe it will go well in my guest room. I'll come back to these two because these were not on market order. I got Rosewood Manor. I got Nature. I'm going to do it on different fabric. It says, where there are seeds, there is hope for the world. Come forth. I can't read it because of the fabric. But I'm going to do it on a different fabric. But I just love all the... And I will probably take the words out and just have the flowers. So I love that. Artist statement. I have always told my daughters and granddaughters that I talk to Mother Nature and ask her to bless us with good weather when we need it for an event. It does seem to work often. I love these verses, so putting them together felt like a good way to say thank you to Mother Earth. Okay, now the samplers and primitives. I got so many samplers and primitives. So I got, this is called Noel Ornament Sampler. I think it's so pretty. I love the colors. It's DMC. It's all DMC. I'm guessing the picture is not doing it justice. Right? Some of these you have to look beyond. And then I got Noel Band Sampler, which I also love. DMC One Gast, what's TDW? Threadworks and Classic Colorworks. Threadworks. I got Jolly Santa. This was because Robin got it. It was on my list and I said, no, I don't really need it. And then Robin said she got it, so then I had to get it. So that is really cute. This is Floral Band Sampler. I will probably not do this top part and just start with the alphabet and just do from there down. Because that's my favorite part. And this is a little too geometric for me. But I'm excited about that. And then I ordered two other ones that I had been hemming and hawing about. And finally I just said, I'm just going to order it and hold on to it. Don't ship it until my market order comes in. So I got Yule Hair by the Primitive Hair. Isn't that pretty? I think it's gorgeous. The fabric, Christmas at Court. I'm assuming it's a printed fabric, so I'll have to look into that. Because I love it just as it is. And then I did pick up, I don't know if and when I'm going to stitch this, but this is one I just want in my stash as like a collectible. I might stitch it, but Celebration by Rosewood Manor. Look at how big that house is. So I just wanted to have that. I love the fireworks above the house. Okay. I think that's everything. Are you still with me? Say hi if you're still with me. Say hi, I'm still here, or something like that. Okay, so that's everything. So plans, I'm going to continue working on 25/7 for Don't Drop the Potato. AB single, like I said, today's number or letter is R, so I'm going to be working on G. Leger because of Reflets de Soie is the designer. AB single is done on Thursday, and then I'll have some makeup to do. Summer Montage was called, so you notice I didn't show it because it was called during Pinwist, so I'll have to make up that. And then I'll have to make up, well, I'll see you before I do this, but the C and the U will be Twisted Band Sampler for Unique, and the C will be Antonia for Jan Hicks Creates. So I think that is everything. I don't know what I possibly could have forgotten. But I hope you enjoyed watching my take on Pinwist. It's a great, so much fun, wonderful people. The freebie table was wonderful as well. And my heart is full. So if you ever get a chance to go to a retreat, I highly recommend it. Even if you don't know anybody who's going, Stitchers are just some of the most generous, kind people that I know. So don't hesitate to go. You will have a bunch of new friends when you leave. I hope you have a great week, everyone, and I will see you next week. Bye.